starting streaming now. So it's got the logo up. I love this thing. Isn't this great?
Fucking A, man. I'm thinking about. I wanted to get more serious about the Twitch thing, but it's one of
Yeah.
those.
I don't know. I mean,
We're
I'm not.
not that good at it either. We just started. Like, I'm trying to see a way if we could see the same thing at the same time. That would make commentary a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing it, and I guess this is being broadcast right now. I like doing these, every few weeks. But yeah, I'm definitely don't have. I just don't have the time to hop on and be like, "Hey, bro, unemployed again." So.
It's only an hour. I mean, an hour a week. It's almost kind of how we do the podcast. But like, I was thinking, the only thing is, I need somebody that's going to be on that hour at the same time as me. And I was thinking that I wanted to find somebody like in real life,
IRL,
but that like somebody that I met with, hang out with every, that I actually talk to. But like, none of my friends play video games.
something thick.
They're not. It's not thick enough.
All right, let me see. I think it's live. So, what am I looking? It's funny. There's so many screens open. It's just.
You feel like fucking you're in the Matrix?
Let me see. And it sucks because my headphones do not stretch as far. And I have to play on the TV too because the lag. I can't believe my power hasn't gone out when I do these things. There's so many things turned on.
You got to put a picture. You got to put a picture up of your setup, your power reading setup.
I know.
You have your 32X hooked up, your SEGA CD, even though you're not using it.
I've got a switcher too, a video switcher. Here, one sec. All right, cool. So I'm gonna play.
What game are we gonna play first?
I am playing Castle of Illusion because that is the game that Al Nilsson showed off on that old tech video. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that video. It's classic.
So, welcome to Vera City, where life is joyful and everyone lives in peace. Vera City? Like, who thought of that?
Some fucking guy at SEGA, probably.
No, it must have. Well, that's the thing with these shows. I don't know. Oh, it's the game hasn't shown up. There we go. Sorry about that. We just missed crucial first few seconds of the plot. But basically, Minnie got kidnapped. Sonic the Mouse Hog's going to go look for her.
So what do you think about that Mickey game when you were growing up?
This one, Castle Illusion.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had it. I might, I think I got it later in the run, but I liked it. I liked World of Illusion a lot more.
I didn't have it growing up either. I don't know why. Maybe it's because when I thought of SEGA Genesis and how badass the console was, I didn't think of I want to play fucking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I didn't get it. But I used to be obsessed with like an NES Mickey game. I forgot what it was called. It was an NES one, and there was like a pirate ship on the cover.
Mickey's Mousecapade?
I think so.
Yeah, that was Capcom, right?
They did. Yeah.
What'd you think of the Capcom games? Like, because as a Sega kid, I never had the SNES, so I always just thought they were crap, so I could make myself feel better.
Honestly, that game wasn't that great, but when you're a fucking kid, you don't know anything. So to me, they're pretty good. I mean, I went back and played it, and I was like, damn, this game's so cheap. But the idea of just playing as Mickey and me controlling him, and as a kid, that was pretty crazy, I thought. But I mean, they're all right. I mean, I like Capcom, but I I like the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin, even though it was inferior compared to the Genesis version. But it was still a pretty decent game.
Yeah, the Aladdin on Genesis was just like, that was crazy. It was like a moving cartoon.
Yeah, the animation was way better, but they did some alright special effects on the Super Nintendo version. Well, not really special effects, just scenery, I guess. But yeah, definitely the Genesis version over the
Super Nintendo didn't have a sword, I think.
No, he did not. No, they only did apples. Probably the violent thing.
Yeah, look at this. What's Mickey using?
I can't see him not in the stream because it's lagging.
He's using apples.
Oh yeah, apples. That was a big motif, I guess, at that time. I mean, so did so did Aladdin. So I guess Disney had a thing for throwing apples at people.
Do you think Walt Disney would do that to employees?
Most likely, he would like bite on it and just throw it at them.
He'd say some slur against them and then just throw an apple.
For some reason, it always seems evil. Like the idea of somebody like eating an apple, like there's always danger to it or forbiddenness. I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
Snow White, the poison apple.
Yep. There's always big.
Not to get all heady, but I think it goes back to the Bible. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's probably the Bible that comes down to. I was gonna say, apples is to Disney what palm trees are to Sega.
That's a good. I would like to see an article on that.
Apples and palm trees.
Actually, sometimes I think of something and I go, I'd like to do an article on that, and then I think, you know what? Oh shit, I died. I say to myself,
your cat?
My cat. Well, she saw me die. Sometimes I think, oh, I want to do an article on that, and then I think, you know what? I just summed it up in a tweet, so I don't think I need to write anything.
Yeah.
Like, apples are to Disney as palm trees are to Sega. You don't need an article for that.
Yeah. I was gonna.
Unless you're like one of those sites that likes easy hits. So it'd be like, what does Sega, what are apples to Disney Sega? And then you have to click through like 15 images.
Like apples, like it's not even a freaking article. It's just a bunch of pictures, like side by side. Would be like one side would be a Sega game with a palm tree, and the other would be like a Disney franchise with an apple.
Well, yeah, like I hate sites that do that though. Like I'm thinking, Games Radar does that, where you get there and you think you're gonna read an article, and then it's like click to the right for the next picture, click to the right for the next picture.
And you know what the funny thing is? I've never met anybody in my life that said, "Oh, I love these things."
Yeah.
Never. Everybody hates it, but it's still around. I don't understand that.
I guess they think it's like for example, on our site, we just have a blog layout where all the images are stacked. So if we talk about like 10 things, you're gonna see the 10 things and maybe an image gallery. But
yeah,
isn't that better than?
It's better for the user, but I think what happens is that they get better Alexa rankings if you go through multiple pages.
But that's just that's dishonest, or not dishonest, but it's sleazy, I think.
Well, yeah, but then again, that's why I do the thing. Like when we did the blog, like little things that annoyed me, like if I clicked on an image and it would send me to another page with a smaller image, and then I had to click the image again to make it bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that stuff. I wanted like direct images on the website, because like I want to use it like I would want to use it. I don't want to fucking get annoyed.
Yeah. Well, we always say we want to make the site that we want to make, or we want to visit.
Yeah.
Which is which says something when we get fed up with the layout. We're like, we need to redesign this because I'm sick of visiting this site.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we visited probably more than most people do.
Yeah. So right now,
I'm on it right now.
I'm jumping on ghosts' heads.
That you're living the life.
I think my favorite thing about Disney is how they handle like ghosts and creepy stuff. Like Haunted Mansion's my favorite ride. My favorite Disney cartoons are the ones with like ghosts and monsters and stuff. I don't know, something about it they do really well.
I think it's about being a kid. Like when you're a kid, like I know people say that Call of Duty's what do they say? Immature. There's a lot of kids on it. And honestly, if I was a little kid, I'd probably be obsessed with the fucking war game. But like when I was a kid, I remember like I would be playing games and I'd be like, "This is cool," but like Mortal Kombat's way more violent. Like there's always that tendency that you want to see something you're not supposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
And I think that's probably the idea behind the whole horror. You want to be scared, but you don't really want to be scared. So it's a nice balance right there.
And I think Disney does a good kind of like old-timey horror, where it's not like, I don't know, they do a good job with like ghosts and haunted castles and stuff. It's
I think they give you enough to kind of like pique your interest and shock you a little bit, but not enough to scare you when you're sleeping. It's like they have the balance, I guess.
Yeah. What'd you think of the remake?
Of the remake?
Castle Illusion.
Actually, I haven't even bought it yet. I just need to get around to it. But I played a bit of it, and I actually really liked it. It just felt easier than the original.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the game's like that?
It's what than the original?
Easier.
Oh yeah, it's definitely easier. I mean, and that's why it's not so much. It is a remake, but it's almost like it's a different game completely. Like, look, I just died. But when I played the new one, I lasted a long time.
It's probably something like, I don't know, maybe that tells you something more about who would buy I don't know, maybe it's just people didn't give a shit back then. Like, Sega's like, fuck the kids, I don't give a shit. And like, just make the game they wanted to make. But it seems like now there's a lot of thought put into the kids that play the games.
It's much more forgiving, and I don't think lives, like, now there's save states, lives. Well, there were lives back then, but now you can, like, in Sonic games, you can build one, and then save.
Yeah, I think, didn't Al say that in the one that, like, the games now somebody said it on the podcast saying about how games now, I think it was Blake.
Yeah.
That, like, he could have, like, 100 lives and it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. Like, I'm looking at my library of games right now. I can't play half these things, even though I'm 29 years old, and I pop in some game that's for 3-year-olds.
You're a fucking mature-ass man. Can't do it? How were you supposed to do it when you were a kid?
Well, like Tailspin, Toy Story, Ghostbusters, those are tough games. Dick Tracy.
I think one of the issues was that we didn't have anything else to do, really. Like, I mean, I know people say that, like, every generation has more things to occupy themselves with, but, like, us, we had, like, books, friends if they were over, but if they weren't, it was, like, TV, radio, or SEGA Genesis, or whatever console you had at the time.
Yeah.
So, it's not like we could just go on the internet and, like... Because, like, the internet's a big factor now. Kids don't want to fucking try, basically, I guess.
Hey, what did you think about in the Tom interview? Do you think he was serious about sending him my address so I could get a signed copy?
No, I think he was serious. Yeah, dude, did he send it to him?
No, I didn't, but I would love a signed copy of the book.
I think he'll send it to you. I'm pretty sure he sounded very serious about it.
I wonder if we could get, like, maybe we could do... I always want to do a gaming, like, a charity stream, you know?
So it's something to talk about with him? About how he's hurt, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be fun to maybe get our hands on a few signed copies of the book. I know he didn't write the book, so it's not like I'd be like, hey, go out and buy me a copy and sign it, you know, unless he might have a whole box full of them.
He might. I mean, we could always get everybody that was involved in the book and try to see if we can get it passed around. I mean, if it's for charity, I mean, that's something that, like, I'm pretty sure they'd be okay with.
That'd be pretty cool.
Try to get actual SEGA involved, at least for just the community side of it, for the Twitter stuff.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. SEGA hasn't really been involved in console wars. I mean, obviously, it's not their job to promote it. It's not their book. But
Yeah, I'm not saying they should promote the book. I'm saying they should just help out for the charity event. I mean, the thing, it's... And if they want to put in some stuff or whatever, I mean, that would be a pretty cool thing to do.
do you think, like, putting it up on eBay would be easier than a charity stream?
Dude, I don't know. I hate eBay, honestly, so
Yeah,
I would...
that's right.
I'd rather not have anything to do with them. Unless you're going to be handling the eBay side of things. I hate eBay. I don't even want to fucking talk to them.
I'll accidentally put a buy it now of 99 cents.
Oh, you mean that to buy it now? Not an auction?
Not an opening bid? Oh, man.
Oh, well. I'm in the back.
What's the best... Oh, shit. What is the best eBay auction you've ever won?
Man, that's a hard one. Honestly, this is not even a video game related one. I collect comics. I don't know if that's even. I don't really talk about it, but there was the New 52 launched, and I didn't get like the first 12 issues of a couple of comics. I think it was Animal Man and Swamp Thing. But I started reading it after issue 12, and I read it digitally, and I was like, I really want these comics. And they were like being like inflated, like the prices were like way over cover price for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and I found what happened?
No, I was gonna say.
And
it's
I found a
like
freaking
Go ahead.
with the. Oh man! All right. So I went online and I found it for like I think it was like $30 for the for 24 issues. 12 of Animal Man, 12 of Swamp Thing, and like brand new condition. And I was like, yeah, that was a good buy.
I was saying I remember the death of Superman and how people who didn't even read the comics were like, "This is going to be worth millions," and they'll go into the comic store and they'll buy up all the copies and then sell them on eBay.
Yeah, and it's crazy how big that marketing event was. Like, it's still like a big thing in the DC. Like, DC just launched a whole series based on that event. Like, now it's a comic book series. It's like, it's called Superman 2.
Dawn of Justice, you mean?
What happened?
No, I was overthinking a jump on the game. I thought I had to like bounce off a guy's head to get to a platform. All I had to do was jump up.
Not even complicated mechanics, bro. Not even.
This is sad.
It's all that Call of Duty you play, dude.
No, it's the lack of Call of Duty that I play.
Have you ever played with video games with people in real life, and it's always like everybody plays Call of Duty, and you're like, what? What's this?
No, I don't know anyone in real life.
This is the part we play the sad song.
I know a lot of people in fake life.
How's that going?
IFL. It's alright.
I hate them all, though. You're like, I hate them.
Oh, here we go. This is my favorite part. He's just freaking out. Do you remember the part where it becomes a giant slide and you run to the bottom of the stage?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, it's so nice because you're like, when you get to the top, you think, oh man, I gotta go through this again going down, and then they just like send you on a ride. It's nice.
It's like, no, fuck all that. What that game was developed in Japan?
Castle Illusion was, yeah.
So strange. I mean, Mickey Mouse is popular out there.
Oh yeah. They call him Mickey-san.
Did they have a Mickey Mouse game on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, well, we were just talking about Mousecapade, but they didn't have a version of this.
No, okay, then I didn't play Mouse. Well, no, Mousecapade was on NES. Well, I played on the NES. I didn't know there was a Super Nintendo version.
You just said Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I played it on the NES. I didn't know there was a Super Nintendo version.
Oh, yeah. There were Mickey Mouse games, I think, on the NES.
But I don't remember any on the Super Nintendo. I'm just thinking maybe Sega got that license. It's kind of weird thinking that, like, two of the best Mickey games, the Mickey being arguably the most known video game character, kid character, and Sonic the Hedgehog, who was probably at least the top two video game characters at the time. I would say number one, but there was a guy with a mustache.
Oh, I ran out of items. One thing I like in this game is how the items change depending on where you are. So, like, in the forest you have the apples, but then in the Toy Story you have the marbles. And they do the same thing, but at the very least they're consistent, with the location.
I wonder, like, little things we talk about right now, like, oh, I like how this changes. I wonder if, like, developers and, like, animators and stuff at the time had to fight for that stuff. They're like, no, I want to change it to a marble. And they're like, why?
Probably. I mean, this is an important thing for them. Pre-Sonic the Hedgehog.
Your cat?
My cat loves this game.
I've noticed.
Well, I came home early, so now it's like messing with her schedule. She's supposed to get fed. This is
later.
This is an interesting conversation, right? When my cat was supposed to get fed.
Well, it's very interesting. I'm pretty sure everybody's like all dramatically going like, so he's gonna tell me when it's gonna get fed or what?
Oh, we also have someone in the chat saying an idea for a charity DLC, Big's Big Fishing Adventure.
I agree. We get that. I mean, man, we started Kickstarter to convince Sega to make it so he could benefit charity after we just spent a bunch of money.
Well, it's funny because I remember back in probably 2000 on the Sonic Foundation message boards where I was a member, there was this guy who was making a Big the Cat fan game called Big's Adventure, or Big Adventure. cover art, so I made like fake Dreamcast cover art where it was like, I think it was at the time of Sonic Adventure 2, so I put a Sonic Adventure 2 background and big and stuff. And so there is a big fishing game from I think 2000 that exists. That's what I was getting at that one. Oh, I thought I like made it, but instead I died.
So you're actually we're streaming now on I guess a YouTube company.
Oh yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch got bought by YouTube for like $1 billion.
So did we. We sold the site to YouTube.
I wish for like $10. That'd be pretty good. I mean, yeah, a nice payout. We get some beers.
Sounds good to me.
I was gonna tell you, how did that make you feel?
What?
I know we have trouble with YouTube and the whole Google Plus interaction thing.
I don't feel good about it. I don't like it. What is secret?
I'd feel a lot better than bringing fiber to my house.
Like
change.
Like frosted wheats or something?
What do you mean?
You want fiber?
Yeah. No, fiber internet, not fiber in my diet.
I wish the Google would bring me some fiber.
You want a better
stool?
Isn't it fiber just taken so people can take better shits? That's why I always thought.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
What, just taking it for shits?
No, have you ever had like a really big fiber shit?
Yeah, I have.
They're the ones you don't remember because they're just so, it's like a bullet out of a butt.
Yeah, and you're like, oh man, I don't even need that.
And you don't really even remember having it.
Because it's so hassle-free?
Yeah.
It's only the ones you, after Taco Bell, you remember, right?
I think those ones, they're actually called ghost tubes. It's the type of poop where you don't remember having it.
Why don't we just always have fiber? That way we could always have ghost poops.
Or it's no, you remember having it, but like you feel like you've gone, and then you look down and nothing's there.
Those are the ghost poops.
It just slides right down the toilet.
The ghost poops. This is what you. This is okay.
I haven't had a ghost poop in years. I'm just saying.
you don't believe in it anymore?
I believe in it. I believe in ghost poops for sure.
But you don't. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you sound like a spectic to me.
I don't know. This is a cool stage. I forgot.
It'd be a pretty cool show though if you think about it, Barry.
What?
Like me and you hunting down ghost poops.
Ghost poop hunters. Now, ma'am, you used the bathroom. Correct. Yeah, I did. But nothing was there. No. All right. Well, we're gonna send a microphone down there.
He's all George decides to ask the tough questions. Did you feel a water splash?
And you'd be like, was there a death in your house? And she'd be like, there was. And you're like, they're telling me it's gonna be okay. It's saying...
I can hear...
Those like ghost hunter shows are the biggest pieces of ghost poops.
I agree, dude. I love when the guy's like, what was that?
Wait.
It's like commercial break.
Wait, someone just tugged at my jacket. You know?
And they listen to like hours of footage, and then it's like a little scribble, and it's like, do you hear that?
It's like
it's the ghost.
It's like, get out of here. And then they're like, wait, play that back. Get out of here. Slow it down. Get out of here. You know.
Ghosts exist. And you look at the camera.
Ghosts exist. There's actually a YouTube channel where this guy, it's so funny, he debunks all the Ghost Hunter episodes, and it's so blatant how they lie. It's like...
Oh yeah, it's just a put together show it's no such thing as ghosts, come on guys.
Well yeah, but there was like this one episode where this guy claimed that a ghost tugged at his collar, and the guy who's against the show actually played it frame by frame, and there's like a pulley inside the guy's jacket that is making it appear as though someone's pulling on his collar. It's like... I don't know, man.
It's pretty scummy, dude.
It's scummy. There's a funny one where they are sitting... oh shit, I'm fighting on a present. There's a funny one where they're sitting next to a table in a and it turns out that the shots, they actually changed the tablecloth so it would be easier to pull on. You know?
These are scummy as hell, dude. So they just go in there and start filming bullshit, and then the budget of the show is probably like $20.
Yeah, no, the lamp was like this knit, like, what do they call it? You know that, like, those old people knit things? I don't know what they call them. But then in the next scene, they changed it to just a normal tablecloth, so it would bunch up when you pull it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you.
Is there a run button in this game? I keep dying.
Why would there be a run button, dude?
I don't know. A run button. Again, this is another actually, the HD version is so much easier on this.
You know what? I was gonna say, you know what's the fucking problem about interviewing these people? I mean, people like they're like you want to interview, like after they're on, you're like, oh, you know what? I have a good question, and you're like, well, fuck it. Like I mean, like he's not on anymore, so well, fuck.
Well, that's a fun. I'm gonna play a different game because I think I'm just
sucking it.
Yeah.
Sucking the dick, as they call it.
Listen to me, I'm force quitting Castle of Illusion because this game's just too damn hard. Alright, let's see what else I got. I got a lot of stuff. What should we play? Something bad?
Probably, dude, just play Eternal Champions.
Oh, let me see if it'll play. My Sega CD is a little glitchy.
Oh, I forgot you have a Sega CD, man. Rich guy over here, dude. All the kids in the block are like, oh fuck, Barry has a fucking Sega CD. You can play fucking what was that game, the Mark Wahlberg game?
Transformers 4? Oh no, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch make my video.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, let's go to Barry's and play that game.
I almost bought the In Excess Make My Video. It was sealed at my local game shop.
Why didn't you buy it, dude?
I think it was like $20. And that's just not
worth it.
Is
that too much for you, dude?
Yeah, man.
Yep, you have a white cozy job, a white man job, and you can't. Come on, man.
A white man. Wait, so if a black man held my position, would it be a white man job still?
No, it'd be a black man job because a black man has it. Don't be racist, Barry.
I'm not being racist. I'm being realistic.
I'm not even black. I can't make that call. If a Mexican had your job.
The woman I'm fighting, her name's Jetta.
Oh, that's a nice name, I guess.
Now, is Eternal Champions, is it like insanely hard AI? Because I suck at this game.
Dude, I suck at the game. Actually, it's one of my least liked games, so I should probably ask Tom about this. I should be like, what do you think about Eternal Champions? And if you like it, I'm going to hang up right now.
It's just, like, am I playing right now? What is going on?
I don't even the marketing on that game was insane though. I did look that up.
Like look at my character. He looks like he's glitching out, and this woman's just kicking me. It's moving at like high speed.
I'm telling you that game is not that good, dude. I'm telling you.
I
know there's a lot of people online that like that game, but I hate it, dude. So.
Well, the problem is I own a Jetta, so I don't want to kick it because then, I gotta repaint it. This is hard. Look how fast she is. Do you see this? I don't even think the stream can keep up. She's so fast.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. I'm already the man.
Jetta Max.
That's such a Sega of America game, though. Dude. Like the characters, the settings. It reminds me of like I don't know. It's not like it's weird. It's hard to describe.
Did you know the creator of Eternal Champions also designed Tailspin for the Genesis?
Is that a good thing? I never played Tailspin.
Well, we'll play that next.
Oh, did you know that like I think it was 7-Eleven or something? They used to have they had like Eternal Champions like drinks, like the stupid slushies.
Oh really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere online. I was doing a research article about it. I just wanted to know about some underground games, how they marketed them back then. I always wondered if Eternal because they were trying to build that as the next Mortal Kombat, so I'm assuming they had big marketing behind it. So I went up and read on it.
I just paused it for a second because I want to note. I swear to God, I've been kicking the hell out of her. I haven't landed that many shots, but I feel like I've landed enough to warrant more than that little bar there above her, next to her head. Do you see that?
Is it one? Oh, I was gonna say maybe you are not hard hitting her.
What is hard hitting?
Don't they have like like medium punch.
Oh yeah, I'm
light
playing
punch.
with the 6-button pad.
Oh man, Barry, you are rich. If I was a kid, I'd be amazed that if you had all that stuff. I'd be like, holy crap, he has a Sega CD. Who bought that? Well, Barry, dude. Did you have a Sega CD growing up?
No, I didn't. I actually bought this probably 1999, 2000, used. I had a Genesis, a Nomad, and a Dreamcast as they released, but I didn't get a Saturn until 98, 99, and I didn't get a. I think that's about it. Yeah.
The coolest, honestly, the only coolest thing about the Saturn is you get those era arcade games. Those are pretty cool. Like I like playing Virtual Cop and
Yeah, the Saturn. I don't think it's that great when it comes to
domestic,
really meaty, lengthy games. It's like
Oh,
it's
hell no.
basically it's like having a Sega arcade machine in your house, which is fantastic. But then like you get to anything where it's like a 40-hour adventure game. If it's in 3D, it's going to be awful.
I like that. I like little things about the Saturn, like the way that I don't know. It's just strange the way like it had onboard memory, but you needed like a watch battery to keep it.
It's the VMU battery.
Yeah, and it was like so strange. Like why? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like okay, I save my game,
Yeah.
and then like and then I had to put and then the battery runs out. My game's deleted. Why?
Yeah. I'm actually doing better than I have before, but still I'm doing pretty badly.
I also think it's funny that the way. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was gonna give a little tease out, but about how Tom said that like they were Sega of America was doing great and Sega Japan wasn't, so they kind of like got him in trouble. I think it's weird that Sega never has success worldwide at the same time. Like
Yeah.
Genesis was all American, was pretty big American success, and then there was like Saturn Japan, and then Dreamcast had sold more units here than in Japan, and it's like what the.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention to Tom was how it's interesting that you look at the Master System and it was kind of underpowered, underappreciated. The Genesis was at the time the most powerful system when it released, or one of the most powerful, and it was really successful. And then the Saturn was underpowered and unsuccessful. And then the Dreamcast, at the time when it was released, was incredibly powerful. And, I mean, obviously it wasn't super successful, but I think it was much more successful in some regions than the Saturn was. So it was like this. So it makes you wonder, like, after the Dreamcast, if they even made another console, it probably would have just been another Master System Saturn situation. I don't know.
When you said that there was that tech that they were working on, I don't remember where I read this. I don't know if you read this before too, but
What?
you know how you said that there was supposed to be a deal going on with Microsoft that they were gonna put a chip to play Dreamcast games
Uh-huh.
on the Xbox. Remember that, Barry?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. I heard. I don't remember this. I don't know if it was one of the official Dreamcast magazines. I don't remember where I read it, but I read that one of the ideas Sega was working on at the time when the rumors were coming out that there's going to be a Sonic game on a GameCube or something.
Uh-huh.
There was like a while saying that Sega said they were not going to be hardware only after Dreamcast. Remember?
Yeah.
And the people were like making a bunch of rumors saying that there was going to be a Sonic adventure game on the next Nintendo console.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas that Peter Moore said, I read it on one of the issues, was that he wanted to put Dreamcast software, like the chip, on TVs, on DVD players and stuff.
Yeah.
So you could just play games on anything. And I thought it was a really good idea. Like, why would you have to like stick to a console, format? That's actually pretty brilliant.
We talked to the Dreamcast magazine guys about that, and they said they were invited to this showing, and all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, so you're putting Dreamcast on a chip?" And
Yeah, like I thought it was a brilliant idea. Like the idea is to play the software, and I was like, that idea I think right now it's easier to achieve than ever now with Android being basically that.
I mean, yeah, pretty much they were selling Sega Dreamcast as an operating system that you wouldn't just be tied down to your Dreamcast console. You'd be tied down to you wouldn't be tied down. You'd have an array of gadgets that could play it. So
That's a pretty innovative idea. Like nobody's even done that yet. Like I think people are still like attached to the idea of having a console. I mean, even the Oyo whatever shit. It's like it's like this thing just plays Android games with a controller. Why do I need a fucking box with that stupid brand on it?
Yeah, that's true. They should just call it Android.
Yeah, like doesn't make any sense, but whatever. They're trying to rebrand it.
Let me pop in a different game. One sec.
What game are you gonna play now?
Let's see. What do we want? What do you need? One of the things I like about the SEGA CD Genesis combo is that you can have a disc in the drive all the time. And if you just want to play a different game, you just pop the card out and just reset. It's nice.
What game are we playing?
Tailspin.
It's based on the cartoon?
It's based on the cartoon, and like I said with Eternal Champions, it's from the creator of Eternal Champions.
He made the cartoon?
No, he made the video game.
Yeah, I know. I just fucking around. I had to play the idiot in the
But it's funny because looking at Eternal Champions, and then you look at this, you can kind of see similarities in like the text that they use. It looks like the similar text. I don't know. Color palette's kind of similar. How it's a little kind of murky. It's not that colorful of a game.
It has that grim, that Call of Duty dark tones. This is the start.
My favorite thing about this game is how if too much is going on screen, it slows down to like almost like you use some sort of cheat code, and even the music gets really slow. I think we'll see an example of it pretty soon. But yeah, you get lucky pennies. Basically, what you do is you're going around collecting cargo.
So, what do you think about the cartoon? Did you watch it growing up?
That was weird, wasn't it?
The cartoon?
Yeah, just the concept of it.
I'm thinking that's the one where the guy rides a plane with a girl, and then there's those two younger raccoon thing.
Kit Cloud Kicker, and I forgot what the girl's name is. But what's so weird about it is it's Tailspin, or it's Jungle Book, which is a novel from Rudyard Kipling, and yet they've adapted it they've taken the characters from the Jungle Book and made them delivery people in like a furry universe.
Very furry universe.
Like, that's weird, right?
It is kind of strange, but you know what? I never even put two and two together as a kid because, like, I only have vague memories. I haven't seen it, like, recently, but, like, I remember I used to watch it, like, early in the morning, like, when I was gonna go to, when my mom woke me up to go to the babysitter's house.
Uh-huh.
So she would drop me off at the babysitter so she could go to work, and then it would be on while she got ready or whatever. And I would just wait.
It was just such a weird idea for a show, I guess. That's what I'm getting at. It's like...
Are you trying to ruin my childhood, man?
No, I'm just thinking, like, you know the book Animal Farm?
Yeah.
Like, imagine Animal Farm, where it's like, an allegory for whatever. And, there's all these deep themes, and it's an old book, and then all of a sudden they make a cartoon series where the cast of Animal Farm is, like, running a, web
tattoo
design
shop?
company.
Web design
And
company?
it's like the pig, but he still has the same name, and he's kind of similar, but not the same character. And there's like new characters, and they all wear trench coats. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up. Oh, so anyway, so the way this game works is you're like you saw, I need to get 4 more pieces of cargo, and then I can exit the stage. It's pretty simplistic. But, I don't know.
So this is you're like, oh, the guy from Eternal Champions isn't shit, George. Check this out. This game is very simplistic. Thanks.
it's not a bad game, but it's just, I think it's one of the earlier Genesis games because you can see how the colors aren't really that vibrant and the music's not that great. I guess maybe we were just spoiled by all the beautifully animated games like Aladdin and stuff like that.
For sure.
It's 2-player though, I think, which is pretty cool.
Didn't they say in an interview that the animation for or somebody was telling me, I think in the comment, I didn't even know this, but the Aladdin game, the animation was actually done by Disney?
Yeah, Disney did the animation. It was, they traced drawings and then I think they digitally scanned them in as pixel art.
Why hasn't anybody tried to do that where they just go over animation like, oh fuck, this Disney movie has a really cool jump, and then just take the animation,
well,
change it?
There's some 2D fighting games out there that I'm pretty, well, what about Skullgirls? Is that 2D?
Yes, 2D. I actually own the game, but yeah.
Is it
like Skullgirls?
Animated, like traditionally animated? Or?
Yeah, have you played it?
No, I haven't. I'm not allowed to play fighting games.
Yeah, I forgot.
Because I suck at them.
Yeah, it's actually a really fun game. It's the animation is actually really well done. 2D, yeah.
I got licked.
I don't know if they did it hand animated or anything. I don't know any of that. It's not Pixar. It doesn't. It's like way smooth. It's just like a fun.
Do you think it's like vector based?
Maybe. I don't know how they make it. You probably ask them. I mean, I heard that the studio. I don't know why we would ask. Why we would need to know, but the studio is like, I guess, very independent and takes like if you make a design for a character and they like it, they'll make it.
Do they speak English?
I think so. I think their PR team at least does. The community people.
That's good. I mean, nothing against people who don't speak English.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't want to send them an email and then they're like, "We are sorry, we do not speak English."
I think in the age of the internet, you have to have somebody that speaks English in your company.
You ever see Kids in the Hall?
No, I've never.
It's the Canadian comedy show. There's a sketch where this guy asks this other guy like directions to something and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak English." And the guy goes, "Well, you just spoke perfect English just now." And he goes, "No, I've only memorized that sentence and this sentence explaining why I don't speak English."
And freaking Family Guy ripped off that same joke before.
Yeah. And then
I heard it as the Family Guy joke, and I was like, and I think somebody was complaining one time when I was going somewhere about how Family Guy ripped off that joke from another show.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, he's like, "I'm really getting sick of this shit," and he's like, "Again, I speak no English except for that sentence, this sentence, and in the event that people get violent, I explain myself again," and then he gets like punched in the face. I don't know.
Can that show sue Family Guy for using the same exact joke, literally?
Probably.
Because, dude, honestly, that was the same fucking joke. They just replaced it with like a Mexican.
Family Guy, I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude. Okay. Is it just me, or is it when you see Family Guy, you're just like, whatever, I don't really care? It's like, I don't see no nostalgia with it. I don't know why. Maybe it's I don't like the drawing, the art style.
It's a really lazy show. I think that's the thing. And they're like, you know, you look at the characters, the way they're laid out, they just kind of stand there with their arms at their sides. All of the backgrounds are a 3/4 angle. It's very boring looking.
The way they draw the characters is like, no.
It's really unappealing character design. And I think worst of all, I don't know, it's like lazy writing. Like, to them, a joke, a good, like a joke is just referencing something, and the more obscure the reference is,
the better the joke.
The better the joke is supposed to be. So it's like, holy crap, it's Peter as the Thundercats, you know.
And then he'll come in and then punch a guy, and then everybody will laugh, and then somebody will shit their pants.
Yeah, and my other problem with Family Guy is that I think the characters are really... I mean, I think the point is to be unlikable, but it's like, if you're going to make characters who you just absolutely hate, don't make an episode where you're supposed to feel bad for them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There was one not too long ago where it was like Meg was like, Dad, you always hit me and treat me like crap, and I'm sick of it. And he's like, oh, geez, Meg, I'm sorry. I love you. You're my daughter. And they like hug, and then it's like the end of the episode. And then the next episode, it's like Peter shits in her face, and
yeah.
you know, and at least with The Simpsons, the characters always care about each other. It's never like Homer has ever abused Lisa. You know, he'll strangle.
Yeah, he's not like, Lisa, come here, let me punch you in the face.
Yeah, you've never seen Homer going, oh jeez, Marge, I've got diarrhea. Why don't you go shit in Lisa's face? Oh, that's a good idea. Hello, Lisa. Come here,
Right.
I'm gonna fart in your face because you're my daughter. And then she'll be like, oh.
And then Bart comes up, he's like, whoa, cowabunga.
Don't have a shit, Dad. And he's like, I'm gonna strangle you to death, son. I mean, that's the thing, is like, at worst, Homer strangles Bart, but I don't know, it's like over the top cartoon.
He's a little bastard.
Yeah, well, he
No,
kind of deserves it.
It's like when you're a kid, your dad would, I don't know if your dad ever used smacking.
No, my dad didn't hit me as a kid.
I wouldn't say hit, but like, you know, he would be all like, stop doing that and smack my hand or something. But like, I guess it would be like relatable, I guess, to that kind of lifestyle, not super white lifestyle like Barry.
Yeah, when I acted up, my dad would give me money.
He's all, Barry, stop acting up, here's $20, don't do it again. And
Yeah,
you
right.
did it again, he's like, here's another 20, stop.
One of the things I don't like about Tailspin is there are things where you're like, oh, look at the water. If I jump on the water, it'll shoot me up. But no, it hurts you. Like, how does water hurt you? That's stupid.
Water is a very bad element, dude.
Oh, man. I don't like this game.
What do you think is the worst SEGA Genesis game?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I probably don't own it. I think the worst 32X game is Motocross. Have you played that?
Well, you're gonna play it now.
Let's play it right now. And then I'll play the worst Genesis game I own.
Which is probably like fucking like what? PUBG Cat or something?
Here we go. Best 32X game of all time.
So what did you tell your work when you left today?
I had a appointment.
And then they're gonna be looking at your YouTube account and they'll be like, hey, look, it just linked to his Twitch account. And they look and you're online playing.
They don't follow any of that.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm assuming they don't. But that'd be weird.
You know how shitty this game is? I think it just froze up and I never had a 32X game freeze up on me. Let me reset it. I don't know what just happened.
Maybe it has like protection so you can't record off of it. Super feature advanced technology.
So, made me drop my 6 button. So this game is really bad. I don't even think it's working.
Man, the game is dead, dude.
Do you see that? It's selecting on its own. It just freaked out. What is it doing? What did I do? Alright. Reset. This game, something's messed up with this game.
So I guess I didn't know this game existed, but Sega just pulled out that press release I was talking to you about that Warhammer game.
Oh yeah?
Apparently it's an arcade shooter, and it was released on like as a digital game. The Kill Team, I never knew it existed until right now. So I guess it never was on Steam or something, or never on PC, but they barely ported it. Sega did. Because the Wikipedia article says only for PS3 at 360. So I guess Sega's promoting that it's now out on the
That's messed up.
PC. Play another game then.
This game is so bad that it doesn't want me to play it.
Ooh, do you have a? Let me see. Man, there's so many Sega Genesis games.
Oh, you know what it was? I have this like second controller port, which is like I forgot. Let me see what it's called. It's called the Power Plug, and it's from Tyco. And it causes some games to just like spaz out.
Yeah, off. Apparently that game is one of those games.
So
Are you surprised? Probably not.
This is a game that AJ actually reviewed. It's one of his early games. He hates it.
Why would he hate it? It sounds like fabulous.
Well, you'll see. I mean, first off, look at this. Like, here, I'm gonna move my mouse into the screen so you can see. This is all unused space here for the game. There's like this black bar up here, and then when you get into the game itself, it wastes so much so much of the screen.
What do you think? Why do you think they did that? Like just bad designers?
I don't know. Maybe Barkley, he's in the chat right now. Like why certain 32X games, why certain video games in general use a really small portion of the screen.
They wanted you to go blind.
Now, the game's not bad when you're like going forward and not touching the buttons. And I don't know, it's really bad. Like, God forbid you get stuck in dialogue because it's all the same sound. They all go,
So now that you're playing the SEGA Genesis, you're obviously playing it on the Model 1?
What?
The SEGA Genesis you're playing on.
What about it?
Model 1?
Yeah, Model 1. I also have the stereo hooked up, so it's running out from the Genesis and going into I think SEGA CD. I mean,
I was gonna say, are you surprised that Tom didn't like the Model 1 version?
I mean, I can see why he liked the Model 2. It's much more compact. I think it looks better with the attachments on it. I don't think the Model 1 was made for the attachments, which is kind of supported by the fact that the SEGA CD looks weird, you know, when connected to the SEGA CD Model 2 looks weird when connected to the Model 1. I don't know. The 32X is too much.
And I think that the Model 1 looks like some 80s contraption that try to look like a Ferrari or something. I don't know, it's so weird. It's just like, I don't know why it reminds me of a car, like the way the circle looks. And then it has like...
It's a little too long, I think.
But I like that one the best. I don't know why. It's just nice big hunk of Sega.
The Model 1 has the best sound.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much why I like it.
So,
And then it has a headphone jack.
For me, it's not so much about... I mean, I love the design of it, but for me, like, if someone said, all right, which of these hardware iterations do you want? Oh, by the way, this one has the best sound and picture quality. Like, I'm not gonna choose anything but the one that gives me the best video output.
I also, every time I see the SEGA Genesis, like the Model 1, every time I see the headphone jack, the first thing I always thought of, like when I first saw it, I was like, when my parents were sleeping, I could still play games. And I was just thinking to myself, maybe that's like behind the whole bad boy image, like, yeah, look, it has a headphone jack. Did you ever use the headphone jack?
Oh yeah, I've played a lot of games with it, well, and just so I could get really good sound. But right now I'm...
What kind of headphones? Just like regular headphones? Did you have some like, what do they call them? Beastly headphones? Like something like...
Oh, I had some Sony Studio headphones.
Okay, and that sounded really, really good, I bet.
Yeah, I went through about 2 pairs of them, and the last one I had was like taped up and it was falling apart. So now I use the earbuds, which is unfortunate.
How good was the sound of the SEGA Genesis on the headphones in the front?
Oh my god, it's so good, it's so clear, and you It was the first time I realized that in Sonic the Hedgehog, the rings went alternating, on each ear. So go bling to the left and then bling to the right. That's cool.
I know that. That's pretty cool.
But actually, the first time I played a SEGA game on headphones was with the Nomad. And the Nomad, I think the sound output is on par with the Model 1. It could be wrong. So that was a really boring game.
It looks pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. I think this game might make a comeback one day.
I'm going to play it with...
Never say never, dude.
I'm going to play it with the music turned off, just so you can hear all the crap. Let's see. Look at that password. When you see it, it's like JCAAAAA. I can't even keep track of how many A's.
Jesus.
1, go!
Yeah, this game is, yeah, put something else on, dude. This game's fucking crap.
Do you hear it? Just the sound alone is just so...
This is, I don't even know how somebody got paid for this. I wonder how much units it sold.
Probably not that many.
Yeah, 32X is a strange console. Like, that thing was not supported at all.
And like,
how many games did it have? Like, 20?
30? I think it had around 30.
Yeah, that's nothing, dude.
But,
like...
I mean, the thing is with the 32X, and they talk more about it in Console Wars, is that when they sold it to Tom, or when Sega Japan was talking to Tom, they said, we're going to release the Saturn next year, so we need to release something to bridge the gap between the Genesis and the Saturn, so we're going to release the 32X. And Tom, and I think a lot of the other staff at Sega of America were like, why do we need to bridge the gap? The Genesis is good enough to make it for another year without an attachment. And I mean, I do agree with that. I think if they perhaps released more games like what is it, Virtual Racing, where it had a built-in chip that made the game a little stronger, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they had actual polygons?
Yeah, I think what they could have done with the 32X is never release it, and instead what they could have done is held off some games for the Saturn. So, for example, Knuckles Chaotix, they could have had as a launch game for the Saturn. Sure, it's not a 3D game, but I think people would jump at the chance to play a Knuckles game on CD with CD quality sound.
With the right marketing behind it, that could sell a lot.
Yeah, and then also what they could have done is, because the strongest aspect of the 32X are the arcade ports. So you have Afterburner, you have Space Harrier, you have I'm trying to think what else, Star Wars Arcade. I mean, those alone make it. I wouldn't say at the time it was worth buying 32X just for those 3 games, but they definitely redeemed the system for me, like as a retro purchase. And I think at the time what they could have done is they could have attempted to release a virtual racing style part with Space Harrier and Afterburner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could have easily canceled maybe half of the 32X's library, and then take the other quarter and save it for the Saturn, and take the other quarter and release them as enhanced Genesis or Sega CD games, to be honest.
I understand that Sega was very, I guess, new to the console stuff, but like, why the fuck would you need to buy a $200 fucking add-on to a console that you're gonna kill off in a year anyway?
Yeah, and I think that's what confused Sega of Americas. They were like, alright, so you guys are definitely making the Saturn, but you want us to release a bridge console for people who own a Genesis and want a Saturn, but they can't have one yet because it's not being released. Like, it's a really stupid decision in that sense, because it's like they knew the 32X wasn't going to have long legs, or at the very least, it probably would not last more than a couple of years. So why screw people over by selling them an add-on that that is just going to become obsolete in a year. You know?
Exactly, it makes no sense. And then put the CD, because why don't they just build in the chip inside the Sega CD and just release the Sega CD then?
Yeah, I think what they should have done is release something similar. Instead of making the CDX, they should have released a console similar to the CDX that can play Genesis games, and it can play Sega CD games, and it also can play maybe like a few enhanced games. So they're like up front, they're like, all right, guys, there aren't going to be a lot of these like Genesis 2.0 games, but we're going to release like 10 of them for our new piece of hardware that is basically a Genesis Sega CD with a few extra. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea, but I think it's better than doing what they did with this.
I think it just seems like the 32X and the Sega CD failures were more on Sega Japan's mismanagement of the whole Saturn thing. Like, that was pretty not well done.
I mean, the vibe I got was that Sega of America were successful with a Japanese product, and it really turned off Sega of Japan. It pissed them off. And so they said, all right, guys, you did a great job with the Genesis, but now it's our turn to wow people. So we are going to take control of the Saturn, and you're going to do what we say, for this generation.
And you can't. It's not even it's not even. I don't even know if it was that. Like, even I don't know if this was Sega Japan's fucking idea the whole time, but the whole idea that they weren't going to bring Japanese games over or 2D games and only try to focus on 3D and make it a 3D product, that was strange. Like, if you have games, release the games.
Yeah, exactly.
Fill up the shelf. If they're 2D, dude, PlayStation 1 had a huge 2D library.
Yeah.
They embraced every game that you could get. Sony would release it. And help release it. That's why a lot of games on the PlayStation came out, and Sega was like just not about that, I guess. In America, at least. The Saturn did really well in Japan, so
This game is awful, by the way. I'm playing something else. I'm going to play one more thing. What should we play? We got some 32X games.
What 32X games do you want to play? You want to play that Knuckles game?
I got Space Harrier.
Space Harrier is cool.
Yeah, let's put that on. Actually, let's play. I lied. I put on Zaxxon. You ever play this?
No.
Zaxxon's Mother Base 2000?
No, I never played it. I always, isn't that the game that they used to play in the 80s? It was like a really big, game.
I just put our chat in the window accidentally. So people can see when we talk to Tom Kalinske. Whoops. I'll delete that.
Nice.
Good thing is it doesn't give away its information. Anyway, we're going to play some Zaxxon. So this game's pretty cool. It's really hard though. Or maybe I'm just really bad at it. Especially since I just put it on the harder setting. But what's cool is you can actually jump out of one ship and then jump into another. There, sure?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was reading something online. Sorry, I didn't know you. I thought you were putting a game on. Sometimes when you're putting the game on, I can't talk to you. Sorry.
Were you? Was someone talking about me? about who I am?
Yeah, the article was about was like very the whole. No, I was just reading more about the game that arcade game, the Kill Team, and why there's a press release released on it. I didn't never even heard of it. That's all.
What do you think of Sonic Boom in New York?
New York's kind of far, dude, but I think that's cool. It wasn't it. What was it last time? I forgot. There was a big complaint article somewhere online. I read about it.
In St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh yeah, wasn't that like the ghetto?
Nah,
There's like an article about the location.
It
Some fan sites.
wasn't a bad part of town. I think it was just. I mean, like for example, you look at Chicago and you can say, "Oh man, I think you could get killed in Chicago." It's like, yeah, you can get killed in any city.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't a bad venue. From what I saw, it was in a nice part of town. It was just people, I think, who were butthurt that it wasn't on a coastal city.
Well, now it's in New York.
Yeah. And I heard they didn't get killed in New York.
Talking about New York, another Apple reference, the Big Apple. 3 a.m. or Ninja Turtles Lost in Time reference there. But no, I think it's cool that it's gonna be in New York.
Yeah.
Move it around.
We can reenact Sonic Adventure.
And you have an announcement. You're gonna go to the event as Amy Rose. Is that what we talked about?
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as my favorite SEGA character, Amy Rose. I am a cross furry dresser. So it's just going to be a lot of fun to go out there dressed up as a female hedgehog. My wife supports it, my boss supports it, the community supports it, my parents support it. They're very supportive.
But does the cat support it?
No, my cat is she is a female cat, so she's a furry, and she does not support it.
It's an actual person.
You know, the worst furries are like actual animals, you know?
Well, yeah, those are the worst, yeah.
Like, I tell people, I'm like, dude, your dog's such a fucking furry. It looks like a dog. It's tough.
So, would you been happy that if you bought if you like actually owned the 32X, would you be pretty pissed off at Sega as a kid?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As a kid, I probably would have only owned Knuckles Chaotix, and I would have been too dumb to even like consider like Space Harrier or any of the good games. You know what I mean?
One of the other things that also made me angry was when they when retailers would sell like light gun games without the gun.
Oh yeah.
For super cheap, and they would sometimes not you didn't even know as a kid, and your mom would buy it or whatever because it was cheap, and you're like, well, there's no fucking gun, I can't do shit.
I hated that.
And then they get, it's like a scam, dude. That
when
made me.
When I was a kid, I rented. I guess I wasn't a kid. I was a teenager. I rented Alien Front Online for the Dreamcast, and I mean, you don't have the microphone, but thankfully I own C-Man, so I could talk to people. But yeah, that was just like an example of how you. But yeah, you're right. Like that really didn't come with a gun. I guess.
And I think, yeah, it's like my fault or something. But why would you sell it without the gun?
I don't know. Do they have light gun like combo packs in the United States?
I don't remember any. I think that maybe the Phaser Meta had like.
Lethal Enforcers.
Was it packed in the game?
Yeah, that was packed in.
Yeah, but when you bought another game that wasn't packed in, it would just be there on the shelf. The other game. And I didn't really even understand. I didn't even know there was light guns for a while. I didn't even know what the hell that was all about when I was a kid.
Well, you can't even use light guns now in modern TV.
True.
Though you can, I mean, I own did you buy a CRT yet?
I have one right now, but it's not the one. It's not the one I want, but it's a Philips version, but it looks almost exactly like that Sony version.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I found that one in the back somewhere. I was like, oh shit, I want that, and I just took it for now. But I've been talking to some local people, but I don't want to do. There's people that have to drive like 30 miles to get it. And I was like, do I really want to drive 30 miles? And
Walk 30 miles?
for the TV?
Yeah.
It's like 100 pounds, dude. I don't know. Probably not. It's a lot.
You could bring like a red lighting and pull it along.
That's people think I'm a crackhead or something. Like this guy right here sells TVs.
George bought a TV.
Everybody.
Hey, look, George got a TV! And you're walking through town.
It's one of them old TVs.
It's my red wagon, guy!
Yeah. How's the picture quality? Does it have the scan lines?
I think the picture quality is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean, like the little black lines? Yeah, it does. You know.
Okay, because the Philips TV has the same thing, and I'm just like, that's so weird.
I mean, you gotta.
Other TVs don't have that.
You gotta expect that though from digital TVs.
I don't know why it put me off. I was just like, what the fuck? I don't remember that.
This is a good game, but it's difficult as hell.
That was the SEGA stamp of approval.
Well, the problem with it is that it's very like it's like one hit kills, and if you die, it just pushes you too far back in the level to make much progress. Oh wait! Oh fuck! See, I could have beat that. I could have beat this stage. Let's see. Maybe I can do it now. Maybe it's a good game. It's just really hard. So basically, what I'm doing is I have to shoot all of these things to knock the guy down the hole. So the whole stage, you're just avoiding his hits like that. And I just got killed again. But the whole stage, you're just avoiding this guy's hits, so you can get to the very end and destroy him.
But at least you guys know how it looks like to die.
So you just you gotta shoot the hell out of these things, and then when you turn around, you gotta move to the opposite direction so you don't get hit by this crossover. I'm dead. No. But I will be.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Do you ever swear at games?
Yes, and I don't like doing that. I hate doing that. I hate when people do that. It's like a bad stereotype of gamers. And like sometimes I'll be playing a game and I'm like, I'm gonna start fucking cursing at the TV, and I'm just like, man, I shouldn't do that.
I swear at Sonic games. I swear at the modern Sonic games.
Like, why? Because you die randomly, or
Well,
they
like
suck?
for example, like there's the Eggman boss battles where it's like really frustrating the one-hit kills, you know?
Yeah, of
And
course.
so it'll be like, get a load of this. You want this, Sonic? You're gonna die. And you're like, you're at the very end, and then he's like, let's see what you think of my ultimate attack. And then you die. And that's when I swear at the game. I know for Generations, you know, how the boss battle was really kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
I do remember giving the middle finger to the game when I won and saying fuck you.
Man, yeah. I try not to. I didn't do it as younger. I do it now. I don't know why. I just have more.
I'm like a nice guy, but I can be very aggressive.
Yeah, Barry, he gets pissed. You should see how he treats me behind the scenes.
I hit you, right?
You sometimes, yes. I'm a stupid bitch and I deserve it. All right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm not that aggressive. I think I get more pissed on the online games. I don't know why. I think it's because I know that it's just a game, but when there's somebody else beating me, it pisses me off a little bit more probably. But I tend not to get on mic, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. I honestly, I don't play that many multiplayer games. I'm probably gonna let my gold subscription run out.
Honestly, I don't play that many on consoles. I don't like first-person shooters that much, but I don't know, something about those League of Legends games, man. That game, I play that game way too many times. It's like something about the way you play the game, I guess. It's a different type of game. It's not a first-person shooter or something.
Yeah, man. This game looks pretty cool, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's kind of like, for example, you see here I can jump. There's a jump button, and it can allow you to avoid obstacles, or it can allow you to jump inside enemy craft and attack them. So the game doesn't actually have any traditional power-ups. Instead, what you do is you jump into the enemy and you steal it. So that's kind of cool.
One thing that always amazed me about the jump from Genesis to like the Saturn was that the Saturn had like a UI menu where you could go in and look at it, and it was like a spaceship. I thought that was
yeah.
And it's like Genesis never had anything like that, and it was like I wonder if it had one, what it would look like.
You know, that's funny. That blew my mind the first time I played the Saturn, because I think it didn't have a disc in it. And I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute. So there's not a disc in it, but I can start it up and things happen on the console.
Yeah, like there's a game. Like I felt it was like, wow, a spaceship in the middle of space. That's crazy. Like, and even the PlayStation 1 was like shit. Like the menu was shit compared to that.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought at the time that maybe there was a game inside of the console. Like maybe there was a way to play it. But the funny thing is that actually happened with the Master System. You know.
Yeah, it is. The Master System.
It actually had built-in games, which was really
yes,
cool.
I was gonna say. Yeah, it had built-in game.
The Genesis I wish it did have built-in games.
I wonder what built-in game it should have. I'm surprised they didn't re-release a SEGA Genesis with onboard memory and like a UI kind of thing.
That would have been cool.
But then again, they probably like it would be so much cheaper to distribute. Like, okay, if you're gonna give a game away with like 6 games or like 10 games, if you give them away on cartridges, that's too expensive. And yeah, later on they made the 6-in-1 pack.
Now, doesn't correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't what's the Ridge Racer? Namco owns the rights to mini games during loading screens, right?
Is it them? I think it's EA, doesn't it?
Oh, I thought because in Ridge Racer you can play an arcade game. I forgot which one.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of them. You can play like Galaga or something like that. Or, I think it's one of those Tekken games.
And I think they actually own the trademark for the ability to play games during the pause zone.
That's strange.
Or not during the loading zone.
I wonder if EA had to pay for that, because I mean they do use it. Have you ever played a FIFA game?
No, I haven't.
Oh, like when it's a loading screen, you can still play like little mini games, kind of like there'd be one where you have to like try to make a goal, just run to make a goal to a goalie, and there'd be another one where you have to hit targets, like mini games like virtual tennis stuff.
Are there scores or objectives? I mean, like,
it's just a mini game, like you just kick like targets and see if you can get the better score. Like
maybe I think that's the catch. I think the Namco, I'm probably wrong, but the Namco one, what it is that you can't have a score in the upper corner. Like it can't be a full game. You can do things during the pause screen, but I think Namco owns the rights to like an actual game scoring.
Like a ROM, like Madden in loading screen. Madden, you can't play freaking Madden from the SEGA Genesis or anything.
You can't.
I mean, no, that'd be pretty cool actually, but like I guess you wouldn't be able to because Namco owns that trademark.
You know what?
To put a game inside the loading screen.
I really liked how the Dynamite Dynamite Top games had SG. They were SG 1000 games, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
It had Tranquilizer, and I think the first game had. I forget what the first game had.
I think that's always the difference between like Sega and Nintendo. Like I remember when I heard Animal Crossing had full NES games.
Yeah.
I got so excited, dude, and I was like, and I found out you have to buy some stupid bullshit thing for the fucking you gotta buy some stupid ass like cord that connects it to your Game Boy Advance, and you have to do some other stuff, and it was just a ripoff. It was like stupid.
Well,
Sega would put the games in there, and that was it.
the 3DS version, they don't even allow you to play the games now. There's no NES games.
Really? But I think the 3DS version is like that's a whole different build, I guess. But like, yeah, that was a GameCube version, and I guess they've been recycling that game for so long now. It started off as a Nintendo 64 game
Yeah.
for that console, that add-on. That's an actually really obscure add-on. Like, I was shocked when I found out about it.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day or a night or whatever.
Thanks everybody for joining the stream.
Yeah. Impromptu stream, but for the what is it? The 7 people watching, we're gonna have our Tom Kalinske interview up tomorrow, and maybe we'll stick this on YouTube as well. So, yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I gotta stop this.